Reparation.
Make sure y'all liking and hit the like button, sharing the video. Yo, what's up, fam? We on live and direct. Got your man Jaguar. We got AP in the building, Aboriginal Power. Salute to the young god. We got Corey Mayo, the the major warrior in Costa Rica, holding it down, shutting down the Central America. One of the top scholars probably in America, hands down, dog, straight up.
Salute.
And we also got Zoe Taylor in the building, baby. We understand Zoe coming through, finna drop some info. You know what I'm saying? We building, we getting it. You know, ain't nobody stopping us, man. It's everybody really making noise. We gonna let the fam say what they gotta say before we jump it off. Y'all see the title, Reparation or Restoration. Share this, like, subscribe if you new. We finna break it down in the simplest way possible so we can keep it going because the next build that's probably gonna be on either APs or Corey Mayos or who knows is definitely gonna be a little bit more hardcore. We trying to stay in sync. We trying to stay intact. Everybody in their lane. Everything working well, y'all. So let's keep it moving. Who want to go first, man? Anybody got anything they want to say before we want to get started, y'all?
So yeah, just peace to everyone, man. Just glad to be here, and yeah, I'm just here to add my feedback to whatever we're gonna discuss, and yeah. So whoever wants to start, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I want to say salute to everybody on the panel. Jaguar, salute. Corey Mayo, salute. Zoe Taylor, salute, man. We just on here building. We just throwing out a few solutions, maybe different angles and strategies that we can approach the situation. So you see the title, reparations or restorations, and we're gonna
Yeah,
let the brother Zoe. We're gonna let the brother Zoe go in and elaborate on this. So here you go, brother Zoe.
how y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? We'd like to say peace to the family, you know what I'm saying? All the chiefs, emperors, empresses, you know what I'm saying? All the brothers on the panel, I appreciate, being welcomed in. I would like to make, just have everybody keep an open mind on some things that we do talk about because, we're not in this to try to prove a point to anybody. We want people to challenge everything we do say, and, maybe you'll find the truth for yourself. But, I wanted to go on to a point of talking about this reparation compared to liberation and reciprocation. It's a big difference when you're trying to reparate something that is going to end up being somehow contracted, drawn in by law, or somehow they're going to end up getting something back off of the reparation that they put out. Now, liberation, to set free as from oppression, confinement, or foreign control. So liberation, we would also off rip want to put our people into liberating ourselves. And following that, we would want to go into the law aspects of it with documents, building props for our people as a nation, and build props under reciprocation, which means to give or take mutually or interchange, which is identity theft. They stole our stuff. Number two, to show or give in return, which means they took our land. They forced us into areas of America that we were unfamiliar with at times. Number three, to make a return for something given or stole. Now, that pretty much the word reciprocation explains everything that we're trying to do in one understanding. And, I would like to, get our people an understanding that the words that we use in law, they mean everything. And because I like to study law, I like to stay on wordplay. And that's my niche, to all of this that we are trying to do. I like to stay on the wordplay. I look for little niches of words that they mishaps on. And then, I just, I attack those. So reciprocation is the term that we need to stand on and attack. And that's what they don't want us to know about.
And I totally agree with that because the whole thing of a people who actually is organic and living, and actually have land or is deeded to land. You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why we want people to understand the history. When you check out A1, AP, Corey Mayo's, Medicine Man's, you know what I'm saying? You check out my Atlantis bills. It the history that we giving you is the history that's proven either you happen to come through war or perhaps indentured servitude. Now, the slavery title, in law is going to tie you to some Germanic whatever title that it really comes from, because that's the whole point of speaking these type of terms. You got to know what they're going to base you in law. Just like Zoe said, this is something that we have to get on more in our families so we can push out into our communities, you know. And this is deep, and it's the key. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to use any more time to lower anybody's vibration. It's about making progress. It's about really making the right moves. And with that, you can start with your family and work it to your communities, because you're gonna let your friends know. They're gonna let their family know. You see what I'm saying? Have a big cookout. Have a family reunion. However we gotta have this thing. You see what I'm saying? Know what restoration is. Know what reciprocation is. This is the key. Reparations is only to repair some type of machine, product, or any item that can be repaired. And you're going to be looked at as a product. And then not only that, but money is just only going to be returned, of course, to the capitalism of the economy that we under. I mean, every real government and every nation do have their own currency. This has been mentioned. Now, of course, like I say, everything can't be mentioned so broadly on live air. This is why we want to implement the whole key to understanding the terms and know what we're aiming at. The ADOS movement, who people are broadly advertising, you know, it's fraud. Thanks to people like Dr. Tracy McCarthy and others who are letting people know that, you know, you follow up under that, donating to that, uh, giving your information to these people or whatever, and they still using some of the same terms that is used under corporate statuses. I mean, we got to look at these things. Most of our people know who subscribe to our channels and who listen to us. But this is what we got to implement in our families and make sure we really are putting it into work. At least by that. That would be enough work alone, just by activating your family. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna set the example for the community by doing that alone. Let's really do this.
Right. And it ain't gonna be easy, and it might be really, really hard starting off if you haven't even started implementing this type of strategy. But once they get an understanding of what they're trying to do and what the improvements could be rapidly, then of course they're gonna jump on the board, because guess what? They in the same situation that you in, and they trying to get to the same spot that you trying to get. They might just be taking a different path. So if you got a solution or a trail already that's starting to be cut, and it's looking pretty promising, then we're gonna try to push that solution.
That's right.
Yeah, I just like to add that in my part, all I can do, or any of us here in the panel, a lot of us, sharing information and knowledge, and what we can do to help is, like give a, because you've heard this before, right? Where right knowledge comes right reasoning, right? So I mean, we can show you what really happened, right? Historical facts, what truer, you know, uh, the basically the foundation, a foundation, right? A true foundation of truth, and you can base what we need to do next based on that, because you got to understand that this whole whatever it is movement, whatever it is distraction, whatever it is money making, what scheme, whatever, um, it's based off a historical lie. So that's the first thing you gotta, like, I mean, so if you're really into the whole ADOS thing, I mean, most of these people don't really understand the true history of what has happened and who you really are as an Aboriginal or indigenous of this land. You know what I mean? And they're still thinking, even though they're not saying it anymore, or they're trying to hide it with acronyms and just letters. They're out of Africa theory, and they're still thinking they start out as slaves, and it's not bringing you anywhere. So you get your check, right? And what you're gonna do with your check? We all know what's gonna happen, man. What people gonna want to do with it? They're gonna go buy their car, get their Jordans, look all fly. This is not real. I mean, people who really think of stuff like reparations and money. That's like what. That's why Dave Chappelle did that on his show. He did that skit he did with when everybody got paid. Man, I mean, that's what's gonna happen, man. That's. I mean, where's your land? Where's your culture, your identity? Is your rivers clean? Like, what's up? Like, what's more important?
That's right. Right, man.
Nah, you absolutely right. I want to say peace to the brother Jay Free 83. What's going on, brother?
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on, brother?
Peace, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say what people don't understand about a lot of these terms, like the brothers were saying, these terms change over time, and that's the whole purpose of us doing etymology on these words. And even in etymology, sometimes it goes past the word because now you got to get into the history when you look into the origin of a lot of these words. So when you look at reparations, you want to look at events that happen in dealing with reparations, and not only looking at the events, what was the reason they was given. And see, a lot of what people don't know in law is specific, very specific. So when we look at things like Germany, Japan, and all those things dealing with reparations, we don't understand the detail in law of why they got them or not. We just kind of look at the event and say, oh, they got some bad stuff that happened to them. We need that too. Well, that's not the case with reparations. And what happened with the history, a lot of those reparations was the original meaning for reparations is to do with war. And this is why the understanding of what a POW is also tied into that, because POWs get reparations. So in this dealing with war acts, reparation is dealing with war. So it's a military reparations. And if you look up that definition, what a military reparation is when the loser of the war, they have to pay for all the damages done during that war. So the loser pays. The loser
You know,
pays.
you're absolutely right. A quick example is when you look at Haiti, the Battle of 1808. When they fought off the French, the Haiti actually won that war. But you see, shortly after that war, they become one of the poorest countries due to them having to pay back the damages that was inquired on the land. And the French actually came up big time off of that.
Yeah. And see, that's what when we ask for stuff, and that's the thing about asking for stuff, you can't ask the people that's done some harm to you, to expect them to make it right. I mean, that just don't make sense. It just don't make sense. So when we look at this reparation, what a reparation is, where it comes from is an ex gratia. And what an ex gratia is, and I'm going to tell you what it is. This is the business dictionary, ex gratia payment, a sum of money paid when there is no obligation or liability to pay it. So, I mean, if we take this reparation, right, let's say we take these reparations, that
One more
means,
time. Hold on, Jay Frey. I want you to read it one more time. One more time. You went over there a little too quick for them. Read it
Yeah.
one more time, and also give them where they can go look it up, because that's fire.
this is in the business dictionary. Ex gratia, EXGRATIA, payment. A sum of money paid when was no obligation or liability to pay it. So I mean, if we want the United States to give us reparations, that's what we're dealing with. They can say, oh, well, it's not exactly our fault. Oh, they can say, well, we not admitting to.
All
Peace, peace, peace. Y'all got cut off.
right.
Um, they can say, plausible deniability. That's one of the things. So it's a lot wrapped up in this, because if you got a lot of people claiming to be African or an immigrant just based on just what you say, when Trump do all this immigration, and when all these things, we got immigration reform. This is a lot of stuff going on that people not paying attention to. You got the wonderful lady who claiming that her ancestors are from Liberia, but what she probably don't understand, and even if she do, the implications of what when you say certain things, it puts you in a certain position. So if all these people are claiming to have African descent, by default, that makes you an immigrant.
And
Fact.
that's immigrant with an E.
Well, I know by default, man, you claiming African still, whether it's, genetically or whatever, if they trying to really get our kind to really classify, as
Right.
something. They pushing this, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us are really already under Americans, really. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Our parents did. They really have already based us under that. It's just that's why they start switching the labels because they knew that we knew who we were, and so of course, if they could get you to tie under a classification that puts you under a unknown identity or origin or whatever, then I mean, think about it. If I was at war with you, or if I really wanted to take over your land, I mean, I'm not saying I could do that because I wouldn't think to do something like that. But that's just what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's just what's going on. People got to realize that it took years for these people to develop. You know what I'm saying? This type of psychology to put on our people. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just they would start calling us African or whatever. This was something that was developed as time went on, and so even if you know that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like it's a cakewalk now, man. That's why I say restoration is the key. You know what I'm saying? The J Freeway, I'm glad you joined us, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was a good breakdown of what reparations really is. People got to really understand what they saying. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, it's like if anything, you know, we got to stop just clicking on YouTube and spending 6 to 8 hours of YouTube without actually doing the study or just talking to your people in general, man. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot just by talking to older folks. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Since we got Jay Freeway on here and we got the brother Zoe, I would like these two brothers to have that dialogue dealing with reciprocation versus reparation. I would like the two brothers to go in.
Okay, reciprocation. Reciprocation basically is it's a law definition breaking down everything that we are really attacking, and it's giving us every reason to attack it. Once we get paperwork, and if we can get old documents from like the Dawes Rolls and all of that, you know, it's easier to go ahead and go after reciprocation because due to the fact that they did steal our land, due to the fact that they through paper genocide they mishapped us without us even knowing it, and if you look at the Dawes rolls, those are even a lie because most of the Dawes rolls are filled out all by one person, all the signatures, all the markings. If you look at the handwriting, the whole paper is filled out by one person. So more than likely the parents were standing at a counter and they telling their information and them people writing down what they wanted to write down, knowing that, okay, these people are indigenous, but we're gonna just make them black, or we're gonna make them we're gonna put an M on there for mulatto or mulatto, or we're gonna end up putting a W under there because they too light skinned. It's weird.
that's a fact, man. That's all true. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we was explaining that. You know what I'm saying? That J Freeway. I know you got a little bit more elaboration on that, man. But
Right.
you know what I'm saying? People got to really understand this, man. Like you can't just be jumping up under anything, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's that's why everything, that's why everything in the motion of it is like YouTube, for instance. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna click on certain things to like most people who own YouTube are not even on it for information, for one. Okay, let's get that. We already know that. So when you already looking for information and you typing in African or reparations for African or reparations for American, you see what I'm saying? It's still a gateway because of that one word. You see what we're saying? It's not this is not a game, man. You know what I'm saying? That one word might could get you sent off.
Sent off.
Yeah,
That's what.
that's why it's very critical to understand the three languages that's very critical in America. You got slang, which is the typical language you learn before you even go to school. That's what you hear your parents, friends, shit using when you before you even go to any formal school, whether in elementary, middle school, whatever. The next language you will be learning, which is formal English, what they teach you in school. Your third language, which is what they would call legalese. All these things have different definitions and contrary to what category they are being based in. So when you deal with legalese, the term residence in legalese is opposite of what it means in formal English. And you see what I'm saying? So we got to understand that if you want to go in a little bit on that, Jay Free.
I know either way you don't want to address yourself as a residence anywhere. You reside within your body anyway. These are the type of ways we got to start approaching the concept of negotiation. You know what I'm saying? The concept of just really even dialoguing, period. This is how your senses build. Learning law helped my senses. I tell you that because I'm not gonna say or put myself in a predicament that's going to sabotage my status. You see what I'm saying? That's what law teaches you. So this is one of the key things you gotta really implement in your family. You know what I'm saying? It's really serious. We not trying to make it to where it's a headache or nothing, because it's not. I know some people don't even like to read. You know what I'm saying? Some people really just would like to click on YouTube and learn everything they can, and you can find some stuff. We got the channels. We can direct you to certain channels. You know what I'm saying? Like say like for the people in California, for instance. Zoe finna drop something on the behalf of that, and we also, it's other people who are doing things in their area to where they're establishing real connection to real lineages or real royal families that we can actually put into our history if we do start our own curriculum, or however we start our own society, period, our own system, our own way. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going to build us the real way of getting restoration. Everybody got to do something in a community to be heard. You can't just even just have just money. You know what I'm saying? You got to show some work in your community. You gotta show that mentoring, or hey, if the women teaching girls how to do hair or gymnastics or whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta do these type things to be able to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Of course, YouTube is a great way, but this is just really for you to as ammo. You know what I'm saying? We come on here to give the people ammo. It's not about just us. You know what I'm saying? We really just
Facts.
trying to push it forward, man. Strength and progression to the fam, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Um, but yeah, Zoe and of course, Corey Mayo got a little info on the Khalifa information with the Californians. You know what I'm saying? These things is what's needed, man. So whenever you want to jump into that, man, we can all build in on that. I think we even got a little video we might get peep out to help do a little correlation. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope y'all enjoy, man. So you can hit them whenever you're ready, bro.
All right. you know, Once again, peace, family, and for all the people that just tuned in, we're gonna take this one from right where he had just left off to legal things that we got to do, and from where we're going from legal things that we got to do, we're going to go into proving once again us being the indigenous people of the land how it backtracks to location by art and fact. I'm gonna start off with empire. We need to build this and leave it for our. This is what we're doing now basically to leave for our kids. Empire, a political unit having an extensive territory or comprising a number of territories or nations and ruled by a single supreme authority. Number two, an extensive enterprise under a central authority, a publishing empire. Number three, an imperial sovereignty, domination, or control. Now, the reason I had mentioned that because I wanted to bring out number three, imperial sovereignty. We naturally are born sovereign into this world because we are indigenous and autochthonous to this land. And the reason I brought that up is because it's the empires that's still left here. You got to look into one day, everybody on the channel look into the Empire State Building. Why was it called the Empire State Building? Why was the World Trade Center called the World Trade Center? Because of the location and what purpose it really stood for. Now I'm gonna go from there and speak on the empire level to where Queen Calafia, they called her Khalifa, they called her many names, but I would stick with Calafia. She was an empress, Empress Calafia. She was a queen, basically ruling islands all the way from Haiti, Baja, and outward, and was occupied mostly all by women soldiers, and the men were mostly the builders and the pretty much the cultivators for the growth of lands and then animals and stuff like that. So I kind of took some notes down, and I'm gonna read them out to everybody so we can stay in tune with seeing how this correlate, and hopefully Crimeo, he got some pictures and things that can follow behind it. Queen Khalifa of California, surrounding islands all the way to Hawaii, she ruled the lands with precision, of taking care of her people with great support. Her army and soldiers were all women, and most of the men cultivated were the builders and masons. No one has established a ruler this way or protecting a kingdom ever in history. Hearst Castle, an ancient monument renamed to distract the public and most of the Californian Indians who was deported to Mexico and to the eastern shores of America, some taken back to Spain and Europe under captivity, and most as indentured servants. Indentured servants. This castle was designed to be protected by all corners, sitting on the top of a mountain or a pyramid, and takes around 35 to 45 minutes to go from the ground level to the actual castle. When you arrive at the actual castle, they give you false information about the history, but it actually matches the time of the rulership of California or Khalifa's Island, which was an island. And they built a dam to break that Red Sea that divided California and Nevada. So if you look into that, then you'll find some things too that's outstanding. But I'm gonna continue. But it all matches Queen Khalifa on the angles of rulership to total view, supplies, fortified, and her hard sneak attack efforts to be able to be accomplished. It could supply food for over 2 to 3,000 female soldiers and occupants comfortably, and has two Olympic-sized swimming pools, external swimming pool, acres on top of this mountain with fruit trees, vegetables, garden areas for animals, still producing to this day. Guest suites all across the property. The architecture of this castle predates Columbus and is made with grout materials that more than likely the mound builders had used. Most of the wood, stone, brass, copper mantles, etc. are all original still to this day, but the doors have been changed from large doors to modern sized doorways. It has secret passageways throughout the castle that gives even more reason for supreme security. Now, I just wanted to break that down, give that a little bit, and let Cremio speak on, some things he know and is familiar with, this Hearst Castle situation, if you would like to speak on it.
Yeah, so yeah, Zoe was actually putting me onto this castle earlier, actually, and he was telling me how he thinks Queen Khalifa, and what he was telling me about how it's kind of impossible what they say. You know what I mean? How they say they was just built in the 1900s. I don't know if people know the YouTube channel John Levi or whatever, and how he's basically showing how a lot of these builders in the states, are way older than what they tell us, man. They have pictures from them from like the 1800s with erosion on the walls and stuff. Like they've been already around for like at least 200 years already before that picture. So we talking about 1500s, 1400s, 1300s. We're talking about this is a true old world. We know that, right?
Maybe as early as 1100s. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, definitely, definitely, man. That's when we had Aslan and all that. So it's
Correct.
at the seven cities of Cibola. You got to look at the old maps, especially the Spanish ones, how they got all these kind of buildings all over the place on the maps, like all these palaces and temples and stuff. I mean,
Right.
just look at this place, man. I mean, a lot of it, he said, is made with marble. There's like videos out there showing how San Francisco had like palaces and temples and castles and stuff, and how they were just taken down straight up. And there's neighborhoods there right now. In these places, they said they built them for the World Fair, but they were built out of marble, and they look like Greek, palaces like Athens and stuff. This is just like this castle. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see the picture. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It looks like it's.
Yeah, that's major, man. And you gotta really think, you know what I'm saying? You talking about that's why I say, I know like I say, when we really look at these dates and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? It really kind of even today's date, I think it kind of puts us in a box, like on how old and how long we really, life is, as far as our type of life being on this planet, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you got to think now. This is a phenomenal structure on a mountain. You know what I'm saying? Zoe was speaking on, I mean, how in the world, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Swimming pools and stuff like that. But now I admit, you know what I'm saying, you can ride through the mountains up in like Cherokee and stuff like that. And it's crazy how the houses are still sitting up in those mountains. And it's like, I don't know, man, it's strange. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot it's just a lot of stuff, man.
You're right. I mean, even the encyclopedia tells you that the American Aborigines had built apartments out of
Fact.
adobe that's reaching back at 900 AD. And they're still
AD.
being, and not only that, they're still being occupied today.
Hey,
One
You
thing
know,
about the Hearst Castle, I wanted to make sure people can understand when you building a fortified fort, that means it's only one way in, one way out. There's no connecting roads. It's that actual castle is on its own mountain. It's
right.
only one road in, one road out.
Come on, man. I mean, this is like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
mean,
just correlating like what in case people don't really understand. This is not just like maps and stuff. I mean, or like internet stuff, but this is actually like something historical that they've been trying to find out the name of California, and there's actually books out there with a lot of research, like scholarly books, like this one I have in front of you, the Geographical Society of the Pacific, and it says the origin and the meaning of the name California. It says Calafia, the queen of the island of California. All right, so just real quick. I mean, I'm not gonna read Matt, but I just want to show you real quick. All right, so it says concerning the spontaneous, unexpected succor which the Queen Califia rendered in favor. Okay, hold on. I wish that you should know of a matter so very strange that neither in writings nor from the memory of people it is possible to discover how on the following day the city was on the point of being lost and how the Montpere was saved. Know ye that at the right hand of the Indies, there is an island named California. All right, very close to that part of the terrestrial paradise. All right, we're talking about Garden of Eden, right? This is the true world, right? This is the Hesperides, as they called it, the Greeks, and the Western Ethiopia, the Indies, terrestrial paradise, which was inhabited by black women without a single man among them, and that they lived in the manner of Amazons. So this book gets into the Amazon as well, and it proves and it shows all the historical accounts of when the Spanish got here and went to Brazil in the Amazons and found all the women warriors there as well. I mean, the Greeks call women warriors what? Amazonian? Where do you think they got that, man? I mean, they've always been talking about America. They've always been talking about America, especially the Greeks. All right, so I just wanted to show you. All right.
That's right, man. You know what I'm saying? And they try to make you think that it's some Amazons in Africa or whatever, but nah, that's not it, man. It's the ones right here in America, and this is why little key things like this. You know what I'm saying? Knowing, I don't know any castle on the mountain, over there in that land. No, I'm not trying to disrespect that land, but I think Medicine Man even mentioned, in one of his segments, or he was either on a panel with y'all, but he read a segment on I think it was out of a book, man, that the Sahara Desert is some of the latest land to come out of the water. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, what's really going on here? We got to think about really what the geology and ecology is saying. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's why we got to do a power build on that. I know I keep talking about that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to definitely do a power build on ecology, because that's just going to rip it out the bud. I mean, as far as what they teaching us as in school, and we can first, man, we can start in our neighborhoods. That's why I say start in your families, start with your community, and attack these boards of education.
Yeah.
Shit, they can't do nothing. Y'all teaching lies to our children. Y'all taught it to us. You see what I'm saying? We just can't do it. It takes a community of people to stand up and be strong about this, man.
Hey, this whole situation is connected by so many yards past many football fields. I found some of my old notes that I had wrote down about I would call her Empress Calafia, and some of my old notes on some things that I was doing studying about her a while back was I had wrote down was that she was an ancient descendant of Queen Sheba, and they were known to be from the Great Lakes.
Yeah, we've been digging into that too. In Drop Nation, descendant or could should be the actual Sheba, because the time, the chronology, how they explained it to us.
Yeah,
Fucked up too. So yeah, that's what we're digging on, and these are the kind of things we got to start correlating, because like I said, like it's no joke when I say this is a true old world. So all that stuff, a lot of it happened over here when we're reading all these ancient accounts.
man, and then the people that basically talk in Egypt talk, they don't realize they talk in American talk.
Yeah. Yep.
That's right.
Yep. I tell them, man, we're talking about the same thing. You just don't know it, man.
Right.
I'm from Africa. You from Afro Rica. People don't look at the word like that. Afro Rica. This is America.
That's right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if anybody have I know a lot of people do. A lot of people who in the chats, a lot of people who rock with us already know who we rock with. But the last couple of videos Corey Video put out, I mean, good gracious. You know what I'm saying? We gotta really think about what we can really do with this information. Like I'm saying, A1 been giving it to us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, I should be seeing well, I'm gonna start putting some recordings of my family and people we coming together and building and just having a good time, finding out who we are and doing this thing right. you should have a good time doing this, man. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it need to be seen. You know, everybody should be promoting this. This what should be like the new trend on YouTube. Like, boy, the families getting together, really bringing back the old family dinners or cookouts or whatever, man. Y'all know I don't see that no more. We don't see nobody playing volleyball in the yard. We don't see nobody playing baseball no more. We don't see nobody playing kickball. Ain't nobody got no basketball tournaments and nothing going on. It's just everything corporational. Just we gotta get back live. Let's wake our people up, man. We gotta do it. You know, we might have to feed them. You might have to clothe them. Hey, at least we can show them the right way to go.
Right. Sometimes you need that. You know what I mean? They need that hands-on solution type method.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing. This is just us trying to give it to you as plain as day, as easy as day to really go ahead and make that move. You know what I'm saying? Information is key. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard really taking a step forward with the right people. I know everybody in the family ain't gonna probably be with it, but at least you can get a few and everybody meet up somewhere, whatever. We can make it happen, man. You know, it's time. It's warming up. It's the first day of spring. For me, it's the New Year's for me. You know what I'm saying? This is how I get down. You know, I think we should just call this year one, and everything else is just that. It's a new beginning of our people coming together and standing together.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Families should be talking to families. What we're gonna do with this? What we're gonna do with that? Economically, or however. You know what I'm saying? You can start small. You know, make it big. We got time. You know what I'm saying? But definitely try to get your genealogies together because more than likely, 99 to 95% of everybody is from here that is listening to us, that's vibing with this information. If you're not, you see what I'm saying? Well, maybe, hey, somebody would like you and marry you or whatever, however that works. If you're right with us, you see what I'm saying? Everybody on the planet ain't against us, but it's a lot of these foreign mindsets and people who not telling us the truth, keeping the bull going, finding ways to keep putting themselves under these labels and titles. That's why it's really getting more easier. Like I say, it's getting easier and easier. Everybody trying to keep coming up with these labels and everything. It's just about being original and sticking to the foundation of building yourself, your family, and your community up. If you ain't doing that, man, it don't matter what you call yourself. You see what I'm saying? It's all about really showing what we really do and how we really do in the first place. Being original creates original people, creates original things. You know what I'm saying? We get back into our original state, original power. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we it's aboriginal to lead you to the definition through law of the indigenous inhabitants of this land. You know what I'm saying? Of course, according to the English language. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, it wouldn't be that term in so-called Africa or Europe or Asia. They have their own languages. You see what I'm saying? This is the term that's in English that's for us to identify as, to lead you to know that we are the original people on this land, not to uphold like, oh, this is a religion or this is some type of movement. Nah, we helping the people be lawful. Period. You know what I'm saying? It's no more getting conned, oppressed, or none of that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's too
Just
much
get down or lay down.
facts. Get down and lay down. It's too much information that been put out. A1 probably got over 200 videos. Corey Mayo, I know, got over 100 and something. Medicine Man got over probably, man. Look, man, it's Wanagi. is showing you what's going on out here, man. Shout out Unagi, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta look.
Shout out to Anagi.
We gotta pay
Shout
And,
attention
out.
to people, man, who
and
really
hell,
showing.
right. We pumping out information, like you said. We all pumping it out. Hell, you've been pumping it out for a while, Jag. So salute to you. Man, make sure y'all hitting them like buttons,
Yeah.
hitting the subscribe buttons. We turned in this thing, man. It's just the family in here. So salute to y'all, man. Give yourself a pat on the back for being some of the smartest people in the goddamn America, man. And it's up to us, me and you feel what I'm saying? All of us to make this change, man. Every day you should be speaking to somebody that whether they know that they Indian or not, you should be the one enlightening them. Every
Fact.
day, your job is to enlighten one person to let them know who they are that didn't know.
That's right, man. It's not hard, man. We here. You know what I'm saying? Making it simple, you know. Shout out to Copper Hot Step too, man, over there in the UK, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the chat.
Shout out to the
You
UK
know,
brothers. They're holding it down really good, man. Learning a lot from them, actually, a whole different
word.
thing. You know, so much to study, man, that, it becomes overwhelming, but it's good to see other people doing other things and learning from everybody. So, yeah, they're breaking a lot of things down over there, too. So, shout out to them, man, for real.
Lacono and Empress Copper Fox and all them, man. They really. I'm talking about, man. I don't know if the man. That's why I say. I mean, it's over with. It really is over with, man. We just gotta really just get on that same frequency at least as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody that's with us is 100% ready to go, and I'm just helping the small things. You know what I'm saying? We gotta start small first, and because when we get big, we ain't gonna even have to use YouTube no more. Y'all see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
it's on that level, you know. We won't have to do this on the tube. And that's really the key, you know what I'm saying? To activating the people so much to where we got our own, at least media or some type of connection to communication with each other. You know what I'm saying? We got to develop that. It's easy. We got plenty of computer techs and computer scientists and engineers and architectures and all type of people that's with us, that's for us. See what I'm saying? No, whether they aboriginal, original or not, you know what I'm saying? You got to think about aiming your energy towards the true help, because there's a lot of people that still our our ethnic race or group who claim to be African, or even the ones who claim to be original, man, still ain't in their right state of mind with this thing, man. And then we just got to get it on and make it better, more actively, more real, man. This is reality. This is not nothing that we just coming up with off the dome. You know what I'm saying? This is all the information putting together so we can really make a move, man. If you gotta study more, if you need more, the channels is there, and we ain't gonna stop going. So you know what I mean? It's all real, man. We got some pictures right here. What's that right there? What is that? That's supposed to be a. It's supposed to be a representation. That's
That's
art.
yeah, that's a cave here, from here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just so much. It's just too much evidence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much more, it takes. I mean, like, you know, like my man Zoe told Corey Mayo. Corey Mayo goes super deep. You know what I'm saying? Medicine Man goes super deep. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I mean my Atlantis builds, um, you got to think. Like I said, I'm really reading from a scientific uh point of view, a real archaeologist, a real anthropologist. Even though some people try to downplay that type of work, you know what I'm saying? That's key to establishing what's the true history and what's really going on. And that Atlantis build, it's really breaking down the way, you know, it's crazy. It's kind of like with the way how how it's like, man, you been said that or you been thought that. It's one of those things, man. In that book, I think they still trying to charge like 20,000 for a hard copy, man. So we gotta like realize, like, I mean, who they expect people to have millions of dollars to be on this type of information. We gotta really understand. See what I'm
Yeah.
this is I mean, this is gonna work if we just use it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all wondering, like, darn, how you do that? Well, the American Encyclopedia is a $50,000 hard copy book, and I done shared that on plenty of pages.
That's an actual fact. That's an actual fact. Not counting, the breakdown of 103 facts about the black Indian of the Western Hemisphere. You can look it up now. It's on Amazon for $250,000, $250,000 right now.
I mean, we got. I mean, think about it. You know what I'm saying? They do not expect for people who making under $50,000 a year to be on this type of information. You got to give it up to yourselves, to your blood, and to the people who are with you. We feed us. You see what I'm saying? It's not a game, man. I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't know how much people got to realize. I know a lot of us got here from being hard headed, but you got to just realize. Yeah, some of us still got to go to work. Some of us still got to pay the dues. You know, but the more we come together, think about it. I mean, it's some families out here who put their money together within their own family, just their own family alone. You got families putting their money together, whether they selling food, whether they got a store, whether they, doing hair shops or whatever. If everybody got on the same frequency with each other, everybody doing their own thing, everybody rotating the money in their families. You see what I'm saying? The family coming together and feeding the family, like just simple stuff like that we really missing, man. So what that your cousin might have started snorting some coke or whatever? Help him out. You see what I'm saying? So what? Your uncle might be an alcoholic. Help him out. Them the key people that people waiting on to bring together anyway. You get thrown off when you got superpowers. See
And
what
I,
I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
that's a fact, and I think that's the problem with a lot of this too. Everybody see the history, know the history to an extent. I'm gonna say to an extent, but the thing is, everybody is still focused on the money because when you look at the money, and most people they like, well, I got to take care of my children, I got to take care of this house, I got to take
Right.
care of my entertainment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to be entertained. A lot of people do want to invest and help other people, but the only ways that they know is to get money. You know what I'm saying? So the whole financial aspect of it is what everybody keep focusing on, but what they are missing still, what we look at as this financial or economics and all that, the Europeans are controlling this shit. Not just here in the US, they controlling this shit outside the US.
Facts.
They all in cahoots. So whether we get reparations, whether anything that's dealing with money as today, that concept, we still lose because now we asking the person who making the money to give us something that don't exist. And for those who do know, money don't exist.
It doesn't.
It's only a representation of your energy. And that's what people not even getting about that.
That's right. You let somebody rate your energy at 12, $13 an hour, or 20. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
It don't matter, man. It don't matter how much it is, man. I remember, Chris, when I was younger, I went from thinking 10,000 was a lot, then 16,000. I'm like, oh wow, I got this job. Now I get another job. Oh, I'm making 20,000 now. I'm doing it now. Oh, I'm making 30,000. I'm doing it now. I'm making 50,000. I'm doing it now. I'm making 70,000. I'm doing it now. I'm making 80,000. I'm doing it now. I didn't got to 100,000, and that still just find out I'm in the same fucking boat as everybody else. It don't matter even if you rich because they funnel that money back into their system. And
Fact.
like you were saying earlier with Dave Chappelle about the whole reparations thing, we've been going to funnel it right back into their system. We don't create none of that stuff, and that's the thing. We used to be creators and understand creation. We got away from that.
That's right. And what's gonna help us is getting back connected with yourself, your families, and your community. Point
Because
blank period.
that's who you are. You are
That's
your family. Ain't nothing, whether you're like he just said, your uncles, your aunties, even your mother and father. I know we have our gripes and our experiences with what we call family, but the point is, you come from them,
That's right. They're gonna help you.
You're the image.
right? Exactly, and it's up to you to make that better.
It's a
It's up
lot
to
of
you.
it's a lot of us on here who ain't connected with our families, man. I can tell. We on YouTube too much. Straight up.
That's real because even
I mean,
anything, whether you say, because the first thing that, at least when I know, when I got into the whole consciousness thing, it was like, okay, the first thing you feel like, oh, I'm gonna come back and tell my family, and then your family shuts you down. You're like, all right, well, dang, I've been trying hard, and you never give up though. Even right now today, with all the stuff that we on the panel know, or those in the chat, the things that y'all know some truths. But the point is, you try to get somebody to listen to that, it falls to deaf ears. Nobody want to work together.
that's right.
So
That's
then you
why we
say, you know
gotta.
what? Then you come to another epiphany, like, okay, well, people say, well, we deal with people with like minds, right? So now that's another truth. You got to look at that. Like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I got to deal with people with like minded. You get into that circle and find out another aspect of, you know what I'm saying, of trust, what trust really is. So then you fall back to family, like, well, I can't trust nobody like I can trust my family. At least I feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? At least I know it ain't going nowhere. And we get caught up in this cycle of who and what we don't trust. And I think that's the issue with the title thing with us, with people saying, oh, we African, oh, we black, we this. This is why we got so many names, because we are attaching ourselves to these things that we trust to make us feel good.
Right.
And that's not what it's about. Because right now, it's today, like I said, with immigration, if you're an immigrant, you're going to be controlled by the United States government. And that's just period. You are considered a citizen, whether you nationalized or naturalized, or you coming over here from a visa. All that still is going through United States control.
You
So
know
I
what
don't.
citizen mean, right?
They, huh?
I said, you know what citizen mean, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. You a part of that.
Yeah, you're an agent, employee,
You a
slash,
part of that. You a part of
yeah.
all that. Any system you join. So that means if you are ADOS, if you call yourself African American, you call for black. That's a social political construct created within the United States as a citizen. So it don't matter whether you get reparations or what title they put on it. At the end of the day, they still controlling it.
They still own your butt.
And that's the whole purpose of knowing that you indigenous or aboriginal. It ain't even just about using those titles, or even Indian. Indian is just a term that connects you to the law. At the end of the day, knowing who you are is something that's going to come within. And that thing that's within, yes, we can get deeper into spirituality, but we talking about blood, your lineage. That's why that's important. The mental, physical, and the spiritual is all connected. You can't have one without the other.
That's right, man. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Will Fluorescent, man. Like I say, of course, that's key. I'm glad he brought that to the attention. Even the word family, when you look it up on etymology, it does mean servants of a household. So of course, if we got a lineage, I guess would be the better term, of course, if you're gonna look at it in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Bloodline or relatives, you know what I'm saying? However, I, you know, if you know a better word, if you know, help us out. These are the type of things that we've got to look at. That's why law is important. You see what I'm saying? That's why law is important. We speak in the family, but even the term family itself is really representing service of a household, according to Adam Online.
Right. And we all know, well, we should all know that words have a energy attached to it. So
That's right.
whatever meaning that word had upon this creation, it's gonna always carry that. And this is why context is important. And like we started out with the word reparation has an history and it means different things in different areas. So you can't just say what you want it to mean. It's gonna mean something in the context that you put it in.
That's right.
And another thing, we generalize stuff too much. We do. I mean, even myself, I have to catch myself when I generalize things.
Facts. Just
Every
like I just did. Yeah, correct me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we go there, we do gotta go there. You know what I'm saying? We gotta. These are the type of things that's gonna help us. I ain't mean to cut you off, bro, but
No, go ahead,
that's,
bro. Go
that's
ahead, bro.
just saying. You right, man.
So
You
I
know,
mean, I was listening to them talk about the ADOS things, and I'm like, damn, why they keep using this term like it's made up. Like, how's that going? Like, you gonna go to court and say I'm an ADO? They gonna be like, what the hell is that? I mean, it's funny. It's funny because it's kind of like when I first heard about sovereign citizenry and all that, and people used to say straw man, straw man, straw man, straw man. Yes, it's a legal term, but what does straw man mean in United States per law? It's a legal fiction. That's what you need to be concerned with.
that's right.
And then what they do to counter that, they come out with some stuff calling people sovereign citizens, which is an oxymoron. You can't be sovereign and a citizen. Don't go
Right.
together.
Because you got to look into the legal term of what sovereign mean. King, master, chief. What does citizen mean? Slave, compliant,
Subject.
subject.
That's right.
Same thing with African American. You can't be from you can't say you from Africa, but yet here in America, being American, like that don't mix. If you're saying you African or your descendants come from African, then that means by default you're an immigrant. Your lineage is of immigrant status. You cannot claim to be indigenous. You cannot claim to be Aboriginal of America as an African American. Just by the sheer meaning of what the word is.
That's right.
Now you could be native born in America, but that don't mean that you're an Aboriginal. That don't mean that you're indigenous. See how the context work? We gotta start putting stuff into context and stop generalizing everything and be specific in what we saying. And that's like me personally. I read the HR 40 joint that they talking about with the ADOS. All through that, they using Black and African American. That's not specific to a certain people. Because see, now we talking about actions and history that happened. And now you gotta dive into that.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, reparations is a tort. So now you can take, if you can research your lineage and find out a certain truth about a certain history, and you could take that to court and get a tort for that, if it's really about money for y'all. But then that's like you were saying earlier. Do you really want money? I'd rather have my land.
Facts.
I'd rather have my land.
You know what I'm saying? For one, something that's now digitally considered currency. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. You know, uh a number crunching system of money is I mean, this is monopoly, really. The real wealth from America comes from the land you got, and of course, if you do have a productional business that is exceeding You know what I'm saying? More power to you, but they already pretty much got people in line to hold that type of stuff down. So we would have to really, really establish our own at least cycle first to accumulate enough. You see what I'm saying? To start our foundations, man. And it ain't gonna take a whole lot if we really just get to it. If we really just get to it, it's just connecting with your relatives, really taking the heart to the ones that's gonna listen. I don't care what you say. I know a lot of us caught hell because we was trying to put the African thing on them, and they ain't want to hear it. Yeah, you're right. They ain't want to hear it. Mine wasn't going for it for sure. But now that I'm talking about us being from here, and now they like, yeah, we looking back and they thinking back when such and such and grandma Kate and grandma Ella and all this, you know what I'm saying, told them this and that. They like, okay, yeah, you right. That's exactly right. You know what I'm saying? Now I gotta explain, well, shoot, when I was studying in Africa, they was making us think we was all from Africa. So y'all gotta think this is something serious, and that makes them understand how deep it is. Cause they like, you know what, you right, you boy, you was gone. And it's people still falling into that to this day. Still. You know what I'm saying? People coming late in the game, talking about, they Africans or Kushites and this and that, Nigerians, and they can't even prove it. You know what I'm saying? Like this
But
is
see,
this is this is deep, man.
but not to cut you off, see that, and even with that, right? We talk about nationality a lot. People talk about nationality a lot, but don't really understand that nationality in your nation is something totally different. That's now when you talk about that, you're talking about a government.
That's right.
We had our own government, indigenous government. It was ours, and like I said, and that's why I was showing in the 1860 census about how if you, as an Indian, if you was enumerated, you gave up your tribal rule. Tribal rule is your government. Now that wasn't the case for everybody. Some people got forced into it.
That's
Some
right.
people, some people willfully did it. Some people did it because they just ain't have a choice, or they felt like they didn't have a choice.
Or they was financially short.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different scenarios, and that's why we can't generalize everything, and that's why it's important as us as individuals to go do your genealogy,
That's
figure out
right.
what happened, figure out where your peoples was traveling, and align that with the history. Then you build a case. So then, when you go to these jobs and say, "Hey, I'm an American Indian, I'm Aboriginal, this is my land," and they tell you you're not, they can be held responsible because you
Right.
can back that up lawfully. That's called a tort. And it ain't even about the money at that point. Now you got something on record lawfully. You are who you are. They got to respect that.
That's it, man. And that's why I'm saying start with your family, with your relatives. You see what I'm saying? So that way you can do what you can do, and then everybody else can do what they can do. You know what I'm saying? And then won't nobody have to be uh uh going back and explaining everything over and over. We all doing it. Everybody is on it. You know what I'm saying? It's really on that. You can't be. We can't show you how to create an affidavit with the example of ourselves live on YouTube. That would be
Incriminating.
incriminating, totally. So you will have to do this with your family, see, your relatives. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works.
Hey, can I rub some grease on that right there?
Word.
Yeah. Basically what they saying is it does start with internal, and inside of your own household is your first family, if you're gonna use that word. But starting with your own lineage, basically you would go ahead, and I would advise everybody to start the simple way. go and reapply for a social security card. And when you filling that out, where it goes into the point of where they say race, ethnicity, and all that, you go and check American Indian. That right there is automatically registering you with the U.S. Department as an indigenous person. Then you go from there, and then you can go, and if you know how to do the birth certificate authentication situation, go and do you, your wife, your kids. You can just take them even if they don't want to know this stuff. You can be going and do it for them because you have the key to open the door. And the more you do that within your own household, once everybody in your house see that, wow, dang, dad really came through and the paperwork is here. Like, oh wow, we got seals on our birth certificates and a receipt that has numbers on it. What is these numbers for, dad? Well, guess what? Those are to an account that you can actually access once you learn the law and know how to apply yourself towards your business, which is your all capital name. You go ahead and from there, you just write a living will and include your all capital name as my man said, straw man as your straw man business. You include that in that living will, then you go and put a $10 million lien on it downtown. And once you go and pay that little $25, $15 to file that living lien on your strawman business, then you'll know right then and there this paperwork and all of this law part of it has everything to do with us being free, being back in our position as what they would consider status or liberated.
I will say this about that though. Commerce, like that's their game. And see, we do have to be careful with that because even with the census thing, it's the Commerce Department that's issuing this stuff. That's why they dealing with the social political constructs. When we start dealing with them, or I ain't gonna say dealing, when you interact with them, you want to interact with them with your, well, what we would know now today to be national status. Us as in American Indians, that's our claim. And on top of that, when you do your genealogy, you can say I'm indigenous, I'm aboriginal. You see what I'm saying? And then now, because the United States is a part of the ADRIP, is a part of UNDRIP, and with your own constitution from your nation, that's a government. They gotta respect that.
Yeah.
Right.
And like a lot of people misinterpret commerce. Commerce,
Go ahead, bro.
Commerce basically is pretty much trade, and is stock trade. So when people look at the UCC, you got to understand you can do this legalities within yourself to own yourself and trademark yourself, service mark yourself legally, and still not tie yourself in with the UCC ones and two threes and all of that. I know I studied law for over 15 years, and when they pull me over and run my tag, they just turn around. They I don't know if it's in with the UN department to where they tell them not to apprehend me, not to any of that. And it's not because I done anything to register with the tribe, nation, or any of that yet, but because I took control of my business and put that $10 million lien on myself. The UCC, I didn't do any of that, and I'm still a natural person. So not being artificial, you got to know the difference between artificial person and natural person as well, because that's where we all are in our artificial person claiming titles without being a natural, which is an indigenous.
And that's facts right there. And that's why I said, and this is why you use the Constitution, because in the Commerce Clause, Section 1, Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3, that's why I said Indians not tax. So anybody that come up to you saying that you owe a tax, if you are representing yourself and claiming to be indigenous, and they tell you not, they have to deal with the national law because they are
Oh
part of
yeah,
that.
oh yeah, yeah. Facts, facts. That's a federal suit.
And they not trying, and see, that's the thing too. They not trying to let the hat out the bag. No, they ain't gonna let you win that. They gonna drop the case.
Or pay you out of court and make you sign a confidentiality agreement to never speak
Facts.
on.
Facts.
Because they do that a lot. Like my homeboy got kicked out of the country, bro. he somehow called me from a internet phone line from Jamaica talking about he didn't cop 36 acres over there in Jamaica finna start his own agriculture. But he can't come back to the US. But he sneaks in once in a while. But they kicked him out. But they had to set out of court and they gave him a chunk. It was so much he didn't even want to tell me over the phone. But it's reality, man. It's
Yeah,
real.
that's major. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, you are worth money. Your name being signed by you is an autograph, not a signature. An autograph is you on paper in reality.
That's right. And the signature is more so representing a death state, right? Especially
Yep.
in person.
Yeah, signature using that word when they ask you for a signature, you change their wording. Say no, I will give you my autograph because the signature is that UCC commerce situation. So they draw you in by give you a pen and then tell you to sign here. No, you don't sign. You are the king, so you basically stand in full armor to know that they running tricks. They playing games in court. They practice this. You know what I'm saying? They practice. They shoot out. They go and practice dribbling and passing all day. Then when it comes to the language in they court, you already suited up to play, but you don't even know that you ain't study no defense.
All right.
So it's all a game. Like my man said, it's all a game.
That's right. And that's why, when we really do this, we finna go ahead and let everybody get right, man. I know, this been a nice build to really just lead you in the right direction because if you really get active or really just create something in your community to where you got some people ready to go, you know what I'm saying? You can at least contact me because I got some people ready to go. See what I'm saying? And we can connect and really make some things happen, whether it's economically or physically, however, what I'm saying. If we help each other set up whatever, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like we just gotta really put something together to where we can really make this work and we can really get together, get these trolls and these invaders still out the way or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because it's probably some people who be having African avatars and other chats and coming here with Aboriginal avatars, you know what I'm saying? Some weirdos now, but connect with the right people, man. The energy should be right. You should have your shield right if you really locked in with yourself. You're on this type of level, you got to be ready. You can't be playing around, you held responsible. You know what I'm saying? It's only best to either help yourself or your people to all in one, or I mean, why? What else is there? What else is there to do? What else is there to do? So
Right.
if anybody got anything they want to lead out with, man, before we shut it down, you know, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this as far as remedy, or if people want the remedy. What you can start doing is, if we are talking about identity, right? We can start with our jobs, with our children's school. Just start with that stuff first. You know what I'm saying? As far as your identification, deal with them, letting them know who you are, and then at some point, when it gets to a point where you're ready, and then somebody violates you as to who you are and what your identity is, then you can take it to the next step. And I think we can support and our each other. You know what I'm saying, as to what the goal is. The goal is for us not to be subject to the BS, right? I'm pretty sure everybody can deal with that. But
Fact.
just like today, the place that I work at, they want us to sign off on an ID form, and it had nothing to do with the employees directly. It was dealing with a whole nother building, but they told me that I was refusing. No, a refuse per law means I'm obligated to, by law, or I agreed to it. I didn't agree to that. So that's not a refusal. So we got to understand what these words is.
Man.
That's right. You know, and that's how they get you. I know. Dealing with the social, man, when they ask you when you about to have that baby, man, it's different ways you can go at that. They ask you, you want to have one, you can if you do get one, you know what I'm saying?
Nope, you got a right to keep your own record. Period.
Right.
That's the
Yep.
reality. You
Man.
got a right to keep your own record, and it
Right.
ain't none of their business.
That's
You and
right.
that whoever you and that person created that child, that's between you and that person. You know how to write down what the date is. You know how to write down the height. I mean, you might have to learn and do measurements and all that, but that's another thing. But that's what medullas and stuff is for. That concept.
That's right. That's right.
That's called private. I mean, you got a right to privacy. They don't have to know everything about you.
And that's a fact. And that's exactly what I was gonna lead to. I was just giving it for the folks who have who have done it or just recently have had babies or whatever, at least don't use it. You know what I'm saying? Let them know that you know, it says not to be used. So uh let them know that yeah, you do have a copy or whatever, but you're not supposed to use it, and therefore you would like to establish your own uh record of however the identification, number works. You see what I'm saying? It's ways to get around it. And then, like I say, when you get with your family, y'all can establish things. Now y'all have the knowledge that you wasn't supposed to be using this as a document for commerce or as a document for pay or as a document to apply for something. You see what I'm saying? These are the things that you can let your family know. Y'all become aware of it. Publish that all as one as a family or as relatives. You see what I'm saying? And take it far, man. Keep going. This is all it is. So anybody else, man, we'll shut it down, man. Let the people rock it out, man. I enjoy everybody for coming out, man. Peace to the chat, everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Rainstorm, Chief Holiday, what's up, bro? I tried to send you one, man, but I couldn't. I don't know if you got a different email or what. It didn't never pop up on my link, bro. But yeah, Wanagi salute, man. Like I say, shout out to Wanagi, man. Wanagi been really dropping them records, showing you how things changed and showing you how the labeling and mislabeling was going on due to you to family records and on his behalf. You see what I'm saying? Now, other people, I didn't experience the same thing. Most people have experienced that. You know what I'm saying? Who have done that. You know what I'm saying? Changing from black to white, the mulatto, all this and that. You know what I'm saying? Some of the forms say Indian and this and that. It's like this is insane. So those are the type of things that we gotta really, those are you what you feel is small is really large. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's really
But what
large.
that is,
So
that's action.
yeah,
That's demonstration. That's showing them that you are who you say you are. But if you keep filling out
that's
contracts
right.
saying I'm black, I'm African American, and your reason for being, well, oh, that's all they had on there. You have a right to identify who you feel like you are or who you know you are, and it should be a point now with who we know we are. Because I know I'm not black. I know I'm not African. I know I'm not African American. I know I'm not a mulatto. You see all these social political terms. There's so many of them. It ain't just the five that's on the census the bureau. It's not limited to them. Know who you are and mean it,
That's right.
and that's really the truth. And the
That's
more we stand that
right,
on
man.
that, and the more we stand on that together, the better it will be for us. Because if it's like 10 people, like, hey, and let's just say 10 people at your place of employment, wherever you work, claiming to be Aboriginal, they gotta respect that. They can't tell y'all not who y'all are, especially if you come in that way as a group. So the same thing apply in your neighborhoods and where you live.
Facts.
If y'all claiming that as a group, they gotta respect that. I mean, just look at the concepts, y'all. Like look at what's the LBGT. It's a bunch of different people with the same idea of
Right.
who they feel like they identify as. The only thing about that is they identify as a fiction, a social political construct. The difference is you are claiming to be indigenous to America, this land here. You are Aboriginal, meaning you saying that you first to this land here, known as Americans.
Hands down, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't you? When you clearly see everybody working their way over here, man. Clearly. I mean, clearly, you know. I mean, I don't understand, you know. So, once again, man, I mean, fire Bill, man, and I know we got, like I said, we got the heavy hitters in the chat, man. Our chats, we got scholars in the chats, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know most of y'all putting in the work because you can feel the vibe. You know what I'm saying? You at least trying. You see what I'm saying? You're not gonna sit here and listen to some brothers really give you some real spill and share what 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 we can do. You know what I'm saying? Not just giving you something to be afraid of, giving you some hopeless dream, some hopeless thought. Oh, well, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? They got all the guns and this and man. Look at here, man. We already suited.
All right, man, what is
You know
you
what I'm
doing
saying?
all like?
I
I
know
don't understand.
people.
What's wrong with you?
I I
Yeah.
I, I know people who really, you know what I'm saying, on a spiritual note that's really,
Man,
really
listen.
helping our people. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nobody that's on some witchcraft or whatever, man. Okay, so like would you take a herbal bath? You see what I'm saying? You drink herbal teas. Is that witchcraft? You know what I'm saying? Like you got this is why we gotta have the ecology bill. It's the difference between actual medicine and some doggone blood scorpion head type potion. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, even that. You know what I'm
But
saying?
see
That's
what
not
right.
that's not necessarily witchcraft, but it's just what you doing with it. You see what I'm saying?
All that represent energy, right? And that's the
That's
thing.
right.
Look at our birthdays. Everybody know they got some type of sign that they represent. That sign carries a certain energy. That's why
That's
when we
right.
speak with people, they be like, "Oh, you a Scorpio, or you a this, or you a that," because the energy is recognized. That's why the same thing and totems and animal meanings and things like that. These symbols represent a certain energy. It represents a certain
Facts.
energy.
Facts.
Just like
Shout
money is
out
a
to the
symbol, it represents energy.
that's right. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about the time you put in. How much money you got shows how much time you put in, or maybe what you took a risk of doing with your energy. You know what I'm saying? And we all know all money ain't good money. We gotta. It's best to have your currency flow that fits your lifestyle,
That's why, and that's why we
not
gotta
something
understand
you gotta
everything.
What are you doing, man? Stop touching
break
stuff.
and
That's right, and that's why
pressure.
you kind of breaking up, Jay.
You touch the radio. Turned
So
it
I
off.
ain't trying to
I
cut
do
you
that.
off, but like you would kind of blank out.
Oh,
No,
hey, so
I'm
you
on the bit.
might.
This is what I do, man. This is my situation, man. I respect it, look right.
Let me mute his mic right. All right, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, so definitely we can do this. We are it
Oh,
ain't we can we are doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, just do your genealogy.
right.
Get familiar with the law. I know it's daunting. At first I didn't understand not a lick of it. I was like, man, I used to hear guys quote things and remember, even with this history. You know what I'm saying? Just to hear how much history people know. The thing is, we got to align it with the law and then take that into action and put it in context too. That's another thing.
That's right. That's all it is, man. So we gonna keep it pushing, y'all, man. I'm gonna check out the chat, man. Give it a shout outs to the chat, man, because I appreciate all my subscribers, man. All my people. I know Jay Freeway, you got a channel, don't you? Or
No, I don't got a channel. I don't do the
oh,
YouTube
okay,
thing, man. I try to stay
okay,
out of social media as much as possible. I don't even got a
oh, okay.
Facebook.
I feel, I feel you on that, man. But of course, man, it's always good to have you on, man. Uh, Zoe Taylor, man. I know I had to mute his mic or whatever, but if you can unmute it, if you hear me, Zoe, it's very much proud to have you on, brother. I know we just started building whatever, so anything else you want to say, man, you can let the people rock, man.
All right. Well, my closing statements would be, love your people, man, and know that no matter what, even through the ignorance or through the greatness, love your people and start being a positive person. Practice positive words. Stand on positive grounds with yourself and your family. And I would like to say, to everybody in the chat room, practice wordplay. Sometimes it's cool. And what I call wordplay is picking up a dictionary and just let your mind float in that side of that dictionary and just read words that come to mind. And when you find yourself doing that, you'll find yourself exceeding learning stuff so fast. That's what I call wordplay. So just, what I'm saying? And besides that, like he said, everybody, we need to get on this law and start, standing on law, not just understanding, so. I would like to say peace to the chat room, peace to all the brothers, the chiefs, what I'm saying, the empresses.
Word, man. Much respect, man. Much respect, man. Corey Mayo, you got anything you want to build on, bro?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, first, thanks for having me here. It was good to hear the brothers, provide some info and share it with everybody.
Word.
All
You
this
already
part of one truth. It's all part of one truth. Like you said, it got to become relevant to what we're building, and not just speaking, making I mean, make some sense out of it and try to help people understand what you're saying. POWs straight up. It's not no ADOS. POWs. You're prisoners of war. You don't know that you roam the land free. You don't come from. Slavery is not the only thing you know, and it's not synonymous with you. Let them apply that to you. You know what I mean? So POW, prisoners of war, very different. Perpetual servitude. Like you're saying, laws, the words. They made this into law. You're still in perpetual servitude.
That's correct. That's facts.
That's right, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, man, we just making sure everybody can at least get on that frequency of knowing what we can do and how we can do it with each other, man. So, you know, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Rainstorm, Joe 47, Trauma Hawk, what's good, King? Oak Cliff Cliff, Empress Kyrie, Opie Mihai, what's going down, dog? I see you out there, man. Another key helper on our side, you know what I'm saying?
Big time.
Chief Alchemy, you know what I'm saying? Young Cherokee Peasy, what up, bro? You know how we do it, man. Nonetheless, he the one told you, yo, it's a crime scene, and all we've been doing is investigating, man. Shout out to the fam, man. Of course, man. Copper Hot Step, Pamela Hall. Happy New Year, sis. See you out there. Truth seeker and knowledge leaker. Peace. You know what I'm saying? Lolly James. Peace. You know what I'm saying? And 411. Yo, if you don't peep her channel, yo, you gonna have to check out and 411 channel. She's one of the greatest news reporters that I ever witnessed. I mean, breaking it down word for word, no, 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 no covering up nothing. You know what I'm saying? You better watch what you say. You better watch what you do. And 411, and 411 is coming for you, straight up. You know what I'm saying? She been investigating a lot on some things, the R. Kelly situation, all type of things. Some people have their own opinions, but hey, you gotta pay attention. So shout out to her, man. Shout out to I know with Nepokin, you know what I'm saying? He been holding it down too, man, on his channel, man. You know what I'm saying? He been really putting in work, man. Giving that that Jackson 5 little segment he did was fire. You know what I'm saying? That was gems all the way to the end.
Straight
You
up.
know what I'm saying? That was major, man. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta pay attention, man. The community is big. It's large, man. Shout out to AP. I know he put in work too.
They'll be liking our energy, dog.
Cut off. Yeah, you cut off, Jack.
Yeah, they be cutting it off, man. They be mad, man. You know what I'm saying? Too much food, too much energy through the circuits. We gotta cut them short. They're draining us. You know what I'm saying? And now they start coming out, the truth start falling, they start disconnecting.
Yeah.
Man, but yo, man, it was nice meeting you, Caribbean, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been following you for about 2 years now, man. And I can honestly say, man, you've been on a great path, bro. A lot of things that I done already had answers for, you confirmed them. And it's like, I appreciate you, you're saying, you being a part of this and me basically being able to, what I'm saying, just, help out where I can, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't even want to do that. They'd rather have that and keep it to themselves and have a channel all quiet in the corner somewhere, just for a chat.
Yeah, yeah, I respect that, man. Thanks, and I appreciate the support, and I'm just happy that the information helps out in any way, to anyone. Just doing my part. We all got a value. We all got a skill or talent or whatever. We all got to just you know use it to value everybody. To so whatever it is, I happen to like doing this, man. So and
Yeah, hey, you good at what you do, bro. And that's like what you do. I really can't get into because I've been in this wordplay game and I'm not done with it. So I'm stuck here, but power.
respect. And I just hope everybody's applying it in their lives and just knowing who they are and living it and without doubt. Like that's because there's. I'll be honest, man. Like the last two videos, I've been wanting to bring that out since last year, but I know I have to bring out certain things first because there's a lot of spells and layers to the lies. There's a lot of unveiling,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of unlearning we have to go through, and so certain things is hard to understand without certain information. So I'm just glad everybody's it's helping everybody and the testimonies I get the comments and everything is just confirming everything because I don't know, I'm going at this blind sometimes, like let me see if this is true. This is what it says here in this book though, so let's see how people react, and then people tell me their testimony and it matches what I'm reading legally in the story, and that's the realness right there. So the truth was always in you. Grandma, that's where it started. Orally, it was always there. Now we're just matching it historically, scientifically, anthropology, ethnology, whatever. All those things they created. They created it out of the originals. So
Hey.
I was gonna talk about you, the Naga, the the Negus, other countries. That's you. That's the same people.
Hey, and that's why I wanted to bring that Khalifa to surface because that Khalifa situation, when I seen Black Panther, bro, I knew that them female soldiers was the imitation copy of over there.
Yep, yep. And if anybody hasn't checked out the Black Panther video, I did. You can see how that's just all plagiarized from here. Everything, the whole movie.
Yep.
Everything.
That's a fact.
I didn't even see that one yet. I'm gonna have to go and dig that one up.
Yeah, Wakanda here in America. Dig that.
Yeah, Wakanda, the word, that's all here. I mean, jaguar, there is no panther. That's a black jaguar or a black leopard, and it's more dominant with the black jaguars, the black coat. So,
right. I was reading about that the jaguar being a recessive gene of some type of animal, but they didn't really want to say what animal. They just kept saying recessive. So I was like, man, I wonder what the hell, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Jaguar. I mean, look at Jaguar's name, man. You know why? Because you were the warriors. You were the ones who dressed like so-called panthers. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's all right. I know, man. My shit. Oh, my bad. My stuff had cut out, man. I don't know what happened, man. Glad y'all kept it flowing for me though, man. That's what's up, man. I don't know what happened though, but
Yeah, get familiar with etymology. I mean, etymology give you history too. You know what I'm saying? The word cigar. I don't know if you know. If you read the etymology of the word cigar, it'll give you some truth in saying that a Negro or a black Indian, same thing. You know, it don't take
Wow.
much to see that.
that's right.
Wow. I never looked up that word either, dog.
I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna read it not real quick right now. All right, just the etymology of cigar is a noun. Cylindrical roll of tobacco for smoking, generally pointed at one end and cut at the other. 1730, from Spanish cigarro. Source also a French cigarette, probably from Maya cigar to smoke roll tobacco leaves. From Psi, see tobacco, or from influenced by Spanish cigarra, grasshopper, citica, on resemblance of shape. From vulgar Latin, Sicilia, source also French sigel and Italian sigala, see citica. Now, if you go down, it says cigar box is from 1819, cigar store from 1839. The wooden cigar store, Indian, is from 1879, American English, but wooden images of feathered Indians or Negroes are mentioned outside tobacconist shops in England by 1852
What?
and are said to have been in earlier use on the continent. Blackamoors and other dark skinned